Welcome to the Best Buddies Jobs Butts training. Today, we're diving into an exciting and impactful part of our organization, our jobs program. This program is at the heart of our mission to empower individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities by providing them with meaningful and competitive employment. Today, we will explore 6 key topics: the Best Buddies Jobs program overview, the jobs business models, the launch and support of the program, the participant journey, job coaching, and job development. This session aims to provide you with a solid foundation for supporting participants, employers, and families. First, what is the Best Buddies Jobs program? Best Buddies Jobs matches skilled individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to meaningful, competitive employment. We work with businesses to identify opportunities and provide ongoing support both to the employee and the employer. Our ultimate goal is long-term, inclusive employment. What are the goals of the Best Buddies Jobs program? Well, we have goals for our different stakeholders. For participants, our goal is to achieve meaningful employment for them, to develop their independence, and to boost confidence. For employers, we want them to benefit from committed employees and to help them cultivate inclusive workplace environments. For families, we're supporting their loved ones in succeeding while accessing valuable resources and assistance for them. And lastly, for communities, we're promoting acceptance and inclusion of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities to be full players in society. Now, we invite you to watch this video highlighting the Best Buddies Jobs program.
My name is Robin Klein, and I'm the office manager at Klingman & Associates, which is based in Manhattan.
My name is Ramon Rodriguez. I work at Blink. My role here is front desk receptionist.
My name is Tim Birch, and I'm a junior custodian at the New York Public Library.
My name is Zach Smith, and I'm a GSIS Game Statistics Information System Support Specialist with Statistics at the NFL.
We initially hired into our organization for a temporary role. We had a specific project that we identified that we thought would be well suited to a jobs participant, and within a week or two it was pretty clear that Robin was a perfect candidate. So when the project was completed, probably in advance of the time the project was completed, we had already committed to Robin joining full-time as our office manager.
I am the face, or otherwise as some of my colleagues call me, the director of first impressions, because I am the first face that you see when you walk in the building.
Having a job really changed my life because it showed how much of an independent I can be, and it showed me that I really don't have a limit. I could work hard even if, there might be challenges in the way, but I could get through it.
We think that he embodied one of our 5 company pillars, one including helping others shine, and he really is a mood lifter at heart. I would let other employees know that the partnership with Best Buddies allows them to hire people who are enthusiastic, they're dedicated, and they're excited to be a part of a company mission.
Meeting with Best Buddies, and after they, kind of talked with me a little bit, it kind of helped settle me. From being a little nervous about it, and made me feel confident that, that not only could I get the job, but I would be able to do a great job and be able to keep the job.
When Tim first came, they told me about him, and I met with him, and, he worked out pretty well, the first week, and I said, because usually we know after the first week, if someone is not working out, we know, and I knew Tim was going to make it.
The Best Buddies team decided to switch my focus to my main true passion, which is sports statistics, and they were able to help me find a job at the NFL that sounded interesting as statistical support specialist, and I applied for it immediately and then went through the interview process, and after waiting a few weeks I got to come to the job, and I was very happy and ecstatic about it, and I couldn't be thankful for their support and the NFL support for helping me get the position with the NFL, and I'm very happy to be here. It's been an incredible experience working with the GSIS team.
Yeah, it's great. Zach's an awesome individual. He brings a lot to the table for team chemistry. We have a lot of individuals that are working hard and supporting a lot of games at unique hours and on weekends, and Zach brings a positive attitude, I would say, every day. So It's been great for me, it's been great for him, I hope, and I think just his attitude, his football knowledge, and his personality has brought a lot to the table.
Blink wanted to work with Best Buddies because we believe that fitness is for everybody. We believe that everyone has the opportunity to be a part of a team and be a part of a company mission.
I think, IDD has the word disability in it, but I think oftentimes if someone has a disability, you can actually have quite keen and unique abilities that come as a result of that. And Zach's case is a perfect case. The kind of candidate that was going to be really good for this job was going to be someone who could master details, who could have an incredible amount of recall and memory, and also had a really good attention span to be able to sit and do that kind of work. I would say to anyone who's considering or looking for roles, please reach out to Best Buddies or reach out to other organizations that help people like Zach, and I think we'll all be better for it.
He brings respect. When I talk to him, he says, "Oh, good morning." I have a few custodians that don't say good morning. They just go in and, he always tells me every time when we getting ready to hang up the phone, "Okay, you have a nice day." And I don't hear that very much.
And what Robin contributes to our organizations is beyond immeasurable. She not only does her job with great enthusiasm, but her personality and her spirit is infectious in our community. For people looking to expand their hiring to include people with IDD, I think the single biggest piece of advice I'd give you is don't overthink it.
The Best Buddies Jobs program involves multiple stakeholders: the job coach, the job participant, the employer, such as managers, HR, and coworkers, and the job participants' families and/or caregivers. The success of the job program relies on collaboration between all of these groups. As you can see, we've provided a graphic of the Best Buddies job ecosystem, with the job coach at the forefront of the program. However, as you can see, everyone has a unique role in supporting the participant's success. The job coach not only works with the job participant, but also works with the participant's family and/or caregivers. The job coach often is the line of communication between the employer and Best Buddies. But the job participant also has to have positive and natural support from the coworkers that he or she works with. Everyone, like I said, has a unique role in supporting the participant's success. There are different roles in the Best Buddies Jobs program. The role of the job coach is to provide daily support and coaching for the employee and for the employer partner. The participant is the employee with an intellectual and developmental disability. The role of the employer is to provide workplace support and to provide these job opportunities to cultivate an inclusive work environment. And the role of the family is to provide encouragement and collaboration to support the independence of the participant. Now, let's talk about the job coach and how they provide relationship and support. The job coaches provide skill building, feedback, and on-the-job coaching for the participant and for the employer. They act as the main liaison with managers and HR. They also support families, keeping them informed and helping with independence goals. If a job development role doesn't exist, coaches may also help recruiting new employer partners for additional participants that enter the Best Buddies job pipeline. The Best Buddies Jobs program is funded internationally by the following 4 business models. The first business model is the monthly service fee per employee. This is where the company pays a monthly fee back to Best Buddies in order to provide the job coaching services. The next is an annual contract, where companies will sign a 1-year contract with Best Buddies and pay a lump sum in order to provide the job coaching services for a year. The next is third-party funded, where the job coaching services are actually funded by a third party, such as a foundation or a grant. And the last model is the government-funded model, where the job coaching services are subsidized through government funding. The Best Buddies Jobs program follows a phased rollout. The first step is to receive general training from Best Buddies International. The next step is for the country to develop a business plan for the jobs program. The next step is to secure funding, followed by hiring and training a job coach. Then the local jobs team will customize the resources, and develop marketing strategies to launch the jobs program. Then, the jobs team will recruit participants and employers simultaneously for the official launch of the program. Once that first job placement is made, the jobs team will provide ongoing support to that jobs participant. Let's take a deep dive into the Best Buddies Jobs process. This is the recommended Best Buddies Jobs participant journey, which starts with the introductory meeting, followed by the orientation, where we get to know the Best Buddies Jobs participant. Then an individualized program plan, which sets the goals for the jobs program participant. Next, the participant moves into job development, where we identify their career interest and skills in order to place them in the most meaningful employment. We then help them with the job application process, including interview prep and interview support. Then, after the placement is made, we provide them with the new hire support, making sure that they become fully independent in their job. And then from there, we support them throughout the entire job placement. And lastly, once they have become fully integrated and fully independent in their job, we recommend them for graduation. When a participant graduates from the jobs program, we still provide support, just as an on-needed basis. Let's dive into the crucial steps of the intake and assessment phase, which is foundational to successful job development and placements. This process is organized into 3 distinct meetings. First, we have the jobs introductory meeting. This is where initial introductions take place and expectations are set. It's an opportunity to understand the participants' interests and aspirations. Next comes orientation and skills discovery. Here, we dive deeper into identifying individual skills and strengths to ensure we have all the data necessary to make a successful job placement. Finally, we have the individual written program plan. This is a personalized plan with the participant's career goals. The Best Buddies job development process is a comprehensive journey supporting participants through several key phases. The first phase is participant intake, which focuses on the individualization to understand participants' goals and unique aspirations. The next is employer search, which emphasizes skill matchmaking with personalized job search strategies. Employer connection is building relationships by engaging employers and promoting the benefits of hiring through Best Buddies jobs. The application and interview process is where participants receive full support during the application and interview process. Participants receive full support during the application and interview process. And Best Buddies Jobs provides lifelong support, ensuring participants thrive in their careers. Job coaches assist with applications and scheduling interviews. During interviews, they attend as silent support, stepping in only when needed. Employers can also ask coaches questions about the program. This ensures participants present their strengths effectively. A tool to showcase participant skills and interests to employers is with a resume book. You can share this resume book with current and future employer partners. You can engage board members by sharing this resume book with them and seeing if they have anyone in their network interested in hiring. Next, we'll dive into Best Buddies job coaching. Job coaches help participants secure jobs, develop workplace skills, and thrive. They build relationships with employers and coworkers. They monitor the progress of the job placement, and they encourage independence by the Best Buddies jobs participant. Ideal job coaches are skilled communicators, educators, and champions of inclusion. Participants learn in different ways: visually, auditorily, kinesthetically, or by reading or writing. It's important as a job coach to recognize this and adapt to the learning styles of our jobs participants. Flexibility in approaching how to job coach them the best helps maximize their success in the workplace. A really effective job coaching strategy is the tell, show, do, apply teaching method. Tell is by explaining the task step by step. Show is by demonstrating how to do it. Do is letting the participants practice with feedback from the job coach. And apply is supporting independence by helping them apply these skills on their own. As a job coach, it's important to know how to implement accommodations so that jobs participants can be successful in the workplace. Some sample accommodations are a task analysis, which is step-by-step detailed instructions, or a flowchart, which are visual instructions and steps to a process. These supports make tasks clear and achievable. Accommodations are simple, but powerful in fostering independence. Now, let's find out what is job development. Job development means creating sustainable job opportunities for participants with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It's about aligning participants' skills with employer needs. Someone who job develops requires outreach skills, relationship building skills, and the ability to customize job roles that are tailored to a Best Buddies job participant. So when job developing, reaching out to employers, why Best Buddies? Well, when businesses join the Best Buddies job program, they are gaining motivated employees while diversifying their workforce. Participants exercise choice and empowerment. Employers benefit from the international support of the Best Buddies International Jobs Team, and they're getting employees that have an average of a retention rate of over 90%. Employer references and success stories are key in the job development process. The job development process is essential for creating employment opportunities. Step 1 is prospecting, which is researching potential employers and identifying leads open to workforce diversification. The next is outreach, initiating calls through emails, or having a meeting to start a conversation. Step 3 is relationship building, understanding the employer's needs, sharing success stories about the Best Buddies Jobs program, and discussing disability inclusion to build trust. Step 4 is job customization, which is tailoring job roles to align with the employer needs, but also matching them with a candidate that's a perfect match. The aim is to foster long-term, meaningful employment relationships, with each step serving as a building block toward that goal. Step 5 is securing the agreement to confirm the partnership, followed by Step 6, which is placement and support. This involves the onboarding of the candidate, job coaching, and regular check-ins for a smooth transition. The last step is building a long-term partnership, focusing on lasting relationships, additional placements, and DEI training to enhance the workplace. Each step aims to create mutually beneficial partnerships and support inclusive employment. Now, let's talk about the job development role snapshot. Job developers build employer partnerships and create inclusive opportunities. They require strong communication, sales recruitment skills, and a passion for inclusion. A typical day involves outreach to employers, matching candidates with employers that match their needs, and ongoing relationship management. The workplace assessment is conducted before hiring to ensure strong matches. This includes site visits, workflow observations, and discussions with supervisors. The workplace assessment clarifies training needs, accommodations, and determines a cultural fit for candidates in the Best Buddies job program. Let's take a deeper dive into customized employment. Sometimes job duties are reorganized so that participants can take on tasks that free up existing staff. This approach benefits both the employer and participant by maximizing their strengths and their needs. An example of this is maybe a participant's hired to handle mail and doing data entry tasks that can help to support the team and alleviate some of the responsibilities off of them. In order to create an inclusive workplace, employers are invited to complete inclusive workplace trainings. These trainings cover disability etiquette, interviewing practices, and retention strategies. Sessions can be customized to fit company learning programs, but it's all one goal: to prepare companies for inclusion and long-term success. Now, let's watch a video that illustrates the impact of making one job placement and how that one job placement can turn into many more.
The baker hired Simone, and everybody saw that she could do the job. The lawyer went to the baker and saw Simone at work. The lawyer hired John because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The dentist went to the lawyer and saw John at work. The dentist hired Sophia because the lawyer hired John, because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The farmer went to the dentist and saw Sophia at work. The farmer hired Kate because the dentist hired Sophia, because the lawyer hired John, because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The barber went to the farmer and saw Kate at work. The barber hired Paul because the farmer hired Kate, because the dentist hired Sophia, because the lawyer hired John, because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The baker went to the barber and saw Paul at work. He didn't have a clue, but it was thanks to his first move that the barber hired Paul, because the farmer hired Kate, because the dentist hired Sophia, because the lawyer hired John, because the baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone. The baker hired Simone.
Let's recap today's training. We went over the jobs overview, focusing on providing opportunities for individuals with disabilities to thrive in the workplace, promoting inclusive hiring practices. We went through the participant journey, which involves the intake, the assessment, the skills discovery, the job coaching, and the job development to support participants in preparing for employment. We also went over employer engagement, which is essential for fostering an inclusive environment through outreach, workplace assessments, and customized employment. On behalf of the International Programs and Development Department, we want to thank you for attending today's training. For international jobs inquiries, please email international@bestbuddies.org. Together, we can change lives through integrated employment.